Hey Patrick, how you doing?
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Can you
Yeah,
see me
so
okay?
yeah, I can see you okay. Can you see me okay?
Yep, can see you fine.
Right.
Okay, good. So according to my VOD burner software, we are recording on both ends. So
Okay.
should be all set. Like I told you, I'm not too familiar with this software, but should work okay from what I've been told. So.
Okay. And how do we do this then, Patrick? Give me some tips.
Well, I think probably the best thing to do is for me to introduce you, obviously, and then
Yeah.
then what we could do is I can either set up the topic by giving a
Yeah.
few words about it, or it might be in this particular case fine to just go right straight to the first question.
Yeah.
I think one thing that might be sort of good, I don't know whether or not you'd be able to do it or not, though, is to just maybe provide a brief overview of Tenzing. It'd be kind of cool to have that sort of be the first question. That way, so anybody who takes a look at this video, will be set up in terms of knowing who the company is and what you guys do before we get into the actual interview. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be great. So why don't I just put that down as the first question. Now, what's your title again, Will?
So I'm the SaaS practice director at Tenzig.
Okay.
God knows how we're going to get this camera working properly.
Why does it keep wobbling around a lot, or?
Yeah, it's just a little bit unstable at the moment. So hopefully we'll be fine.
Right. Okay, so SaaS practice director at Tenzing. All right, great.
Well, actually, I think it's SaaS practice lead, but whatever you want to call me, maybe SaaS practice lead is the best.
SaaS
type.
practice. I'm sorry. Lead. Okay. Great. Okay, good. And you're up in Canada? Is that right?
Yeah, up in Canada in Kelowna.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So let me just write this down here. Okay, great. All right, good. So what I'll do is I'll introduce you, and then I'll introduce myself and introduce you, and then I'll have you start off by having you tell us a little bit about Tenzing, and then we'll go right into question one. We'll go through the three questions, and then when I wrap up, I'll just simply tell people where they can go and get more information about Tenzing just by giving them the website address. And then that's it.
What are the three questions there, Patrick? Can you remind me again, just so I can...
Okay, the first question is, the cloud seems to be the main buzzword at the moment in the managed hosting industry. What do you believe is important about the cloud when it comes to SaaS and e-commerce hosting?
Okay.
Next question is, what is some of the hype you are seeing in the industry? How would you advise someone to navigate through that hype?
Yep.
Next question is, how is Tenzing positioning itself as a cloud provider?
Okay.
And that's it.
Well, we'll go through it and see how we get on, and we might have to do a rerun. We'll see.
Yeah, if we need to, that's fine. I'm open to that too. Obviously, this is easy enough to do. So, providing that my recording software works, you can tell I'm sort of nervous about it. So why don't we go ahead and get started? And the other thing too is that not exactly sure how it's going to go in terms of editing this either. I don't think that'll be much of a problem. But I think I will probably run into a few challenges there, no doubt.
Okay. Well, I mean, what we can do is once you've gone through the first couple of the first edit, then Patrick, we can then sort of go through it together and see what we think, and I'll maybe solicit some input from our VP of marketing and see what he thinks.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Okay, great. So why don't we just go ahead and get started?
Okay.
As I said, I'll introduce myself, then I'll introduce you, and then I'll ask you to start off by telling us a little bit about Tenzing, and then we'll move through the three questions, and then we'll wrap up.
Yep, okay.
Okay, great. Okay. All right, and so make sure my camera is just right. There we go. Okay, good. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this TMCnet video interview with Tenzig. I'm joined today by Will Childs, who is the SaaS practice lead at Tenzig. My name is Patrick Barnard. I'm the group managing editor for TMCnet. And welcome today, Will. How are you?
I'm fine, Patrick. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, now if you could just start off by giving us a little bit of an overview of Tenzig, if you could just sort of tell us what the company does and just give us a brief high-level overview of what you guys do, that would be great.
Okay, so Tenzig is a managed IT services company with a focus on high-touch, smart hands, managed hosting services, specifically in the SaaS and the e-commerce and enterprise web application space. We've been around since 1998, had a history of shared hosting, and then we moved into dedicated hosting. And then around about 5 years ago, we moved into the high-touch managed hosting services space. A couple of years ago, we really started to see SaaS as an emerging trend, and with our clients that we have on board, we started to focus across the entire company on SaaS, e-commerce, and enterprise web applications, and the managed hosting services in those specific segments.
Okay, great. Now, the cloud seems to be the main buzzword at the moment in the managed hosting industry. What do you believe is important about the cloud when it comes to SaaS and e-commerce hosting?
Well, each segment has its own quirks, if you like, but fundamentally, the foundation of services needed to support both of those segments are the same. Obviously, with SaaS, what you're looking at is a move from a product-driven organization to a service-driven organization. And any cloud environment out there needs to take into account how you can support the independent software vendor or the SaaS organization and help them really with that as a service part of the equation. So it's really all of the services around them to allow them to focus on what is important to them, which is developing software and sales and marketing and customer service. So unless you're helping them achieve what they need to do from their goals perspective, then you can't really play in that space well.
Okay. All right, great. What is some of the hype that you're seeing in the industry, and how would you advise someone to navigate through all that hype?
Yeah. I would say due diligence. There's a lot of hype around the cloud out there at the moment, and I think there's a lot of confusion as well with what is a cloud.
Right.
From a perspective of a SaaS organization, once again, you've got to be able to support more than just pure infrastructure. And some of the hype that's out there at the moment is around 100% uptime, availability guarantees around some of these clouds. Ultimately, though, that's not what's important, we believe, to a SaaS or an e-commerce organization. It's around that high touch, smart hands, and the ability to support that organization with their overall goals, not just providing core infrastructure as a service.
Right. Okay, great. And how is Tenzig positioning itself as a cloud provider?
Yeah. So we, about 3 years ago, began on our journey into the cloud. Obviously, infrastructure as a service is a key component of any SaaS company or e-commerce company that's looking to have a presence out there. But where we saw a niche area was to develop a cloud that wasn't a consumer public-based cloud that anyone could use. We really needed to have a cloud that was really suited to enterprise applications, and obviously all of the components of a enterprise-based service. So, for example, very significant SLAs, not just around the infrastructure and network, but the ability for the cloud to be a platform overall to be able to support software as a service. So the ability to be able to support application SLAs, service desk SLAs, technical account management SLAs, all of these SLAs that are really associated with an online service. And that's what we ended up developing was, we believe, one of the few clouds out there that can truly support an enterprise application, whether it be SaaS or e-commerce, from end to end, not just infrastructure as a service.
Okay, great. And one of the ways you position yourselves is sort of a turnkey service, a turnkey private cloud service. I was just wondering if you could sort of elaborate on that. I mean, what's the difference between that and public cloud?
Yeah, so a public cloud to us is a service that's available to everyone, be it consumers, be it enterprises. A private cloud could be having all of those features and functions of a public cloud or a consumer-based cloud, but really segmented off. So it is truly supporting 100% your business, your applications out there on the web. Some of the problems with public clouds are, you don't really know who's running what application in the cloud next to you. Could that have an impact? SLAs, automated patching. Where the private cloud comes into play is really with things like ITIL. How do we control change management, release management? And a lot of our clients have very strict guidelines around what can happen in their own environments, in their own clouds, to be able to support their 24/7/365 uptime guarantees and their SLAs downstream to their clients. So that's where Tenzing's helping, is that we do have this enterprise cloud that is available either publicly or in a private or even in a hybrid type of environment. Ultimately, it comes down to the SLAs that the client has with their client and the ability for you to support through the stack their goals and their ambitions with their online service.
Okay, great. Well, thanks very much for your time today, Will. I really appreciate it. We've been speaking with Will Childs, SaaS practice lead for Tenzing. And if you want to find out more about Tenzing, you can visit them at www.tenzing.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So that's it. How do you think? I added on one more question there at the end. It was one of my own. Do you think that was that good?
Yeah, I'd like to see the playback and maybe just get some internal feedback as well.
Right. Yeah. Now that's the thing. Not exactly sure how I'm going to share the video with you.
Okay.
I think probably the best thing for me to do is what I could do is I could put it on our public server, and then what you could do is upload it from there. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I think if we could do that first of all, Patrick, that would be great.
Yeah. Okay. So my next job is going to be to edit it.
Yeah.
And then what I'll do is I'll give you the address for where you can upload it from, and then you can take a look at it and give me. And if you want to do this over again, we certainly can. This is my first time doing this, but I think it's a pretty cool way to do an interview and a pretty cool way to share it with people. And so I'd like to get a little bit better at it myself, just the video piece of it. And I mean, I think you'd be a great resource in terms of coming up with content for the new channel that we have on TMCnet. So I'd love to do an interview with you where I ask my own questions.
Yeah.
Of course, we got to keep these things relatively short. I mean, we try to strive to keep them under 10 minutes. Nobody's going to want to hang on forever with one of these interviews. But, I mean, 3 or 4 good questions of my own. I'll bounce this off of Scott and see what he has to say. But I'm definitely interested in this area, and I'm particularly interested in what you guys do, and I'd like to learn more from you. And I predominantly use these interviews as an opportunity to get my own education as well. So that's one of the things I really love about it. So I feel like I'm educating myself and I'm educating, the viewers at the same time. So
yeah, just let me know, Patrick, what questions you've got, and more than happy to go through and attempt to answer them in an impartial way.
Right.
I think with that interview we've just done, what I'll probably do is have a look at the feedback. I wouldn't even bother editing it at this stage, Patrick.
All right.
If you let me have a look through it, because I'm just thinking I was mentioning some buzzwords there, which maybe I shouldn't have had acronyms. I should have just broken them out into the true meaning.
Okay.
So
right.
Maybe you could just, once you've got it downloaded onto a server, let me know where it is.
All right.
I'll take some feedback, but I'd be looking to sort of wrap this up certainly over the next couple of days.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Okay, good. All right. Well, let me take a look at it. Hopefully, it'll all come out fine, and I'll send you an email this afternoon and let you know what happens.
Great. Appreciate that. Okay. Thanks so much, Patrick, and appreciate your flexibility. I've not been too well. I'm still a little bit nasally. So.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, sorry to hear that. You had a bad one, huh?
Yeah, I had a tough one over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, there's been plenty of things like that going around down here in Connecticut as it gets cold, too. So.
Yeah.
Do you guys have snow up your way yet?
Yeah, we do. Where I am in Canada, we're in the mountains here, so yeah, we're starting to get snow already.
Right. Yeah. Now, describe to me better where you are exactly. I don't know where you are.
If you've got Vancouver,
right,
you've got Calgary. If you drew a line directly between the two,
right,
directly in the middle is what they call lake country, so it's lakes and mountains.
Oh, okay.
So we're right on the cusp of the Rockies, but we've got 3 mountain ranges that come into play.
Right.
So this is where they do golf during the summer, sailing, and then during the winter there's ice wine and skiing and all that good stuff.
Oh, okay. All right. That's cool. Yeah, I know the area you're talking about. I haven't really passed through there, but a few years back I did a trip Northwest Territories, Yukon, and also Canada. I went all the way up into the Arctic Circle.
Yeah.
Tuk to Yuktuk and all that good stuff. It was a pretty cool trip. Yeah, no, I know. That's way far away, but that's basically my only experience with the west coast of Canada. So,
right.
So anyway, all right, great. Well, thanks again, and I'll send you an email this afternoon.
Okay, that's great. Look forward to that, Patrick, and I'll review it pretty quickly and get straight back to you.
Okay, great.
Great. Okay, thanks, Patrick.
Yeah.
Thanks.